how you have covered women's cricket for so long. How did it feel to see everything click so well in that one moment?
Well, quite surreal, and it is quite interesting that see around say once Laura got out, you
Yeah.
obviously knew that even when she was playing, in my back of my mind, I knew that India is going to win this one. Because asking rate was climbing, they were running out of people. Yes, Laura was playing beautifully, but then how long? So I realized that this is going to happen. But even when you know, and this is the most beautiful part about sport, I think, even when you know the outcome, but when the outcome actually happens, that moment hits you differently, and it's like a culmination of a dream for a nation, and you understand, you realize the weight of those dreams also. Not that you are on the field and contributing to team success, but you do realize that you've invested emotionally, you've connected emotionally with that team, with the moment, with the with Indian cricket, honestly speaking, and that actually like feels quite surreal. It should not, ideally, because you know it is going to happen. Years of playing cricket, following cricket, tells you that this is the most logical outcome. But when it happens, it's like goosebumpish, and you don't even know why you're feeling that way, or I mean, there is, you just want to, you allow that moment to sink in for a little second, where you think, wow, a dream has realized. You pinch yourself mentally, that I mean, it is what it is now.
So, about that moment and how you called it, you mentioned the discrimination that women are faced, जो लड़कियों को टोका गया है, रोका गया है. What inspired those lines and how did you chose those lines for that moment?
So quite interesting, actually. So I was thinking that what does it mean? What does it mean for the women's sport, one, and then women in India and everywhere else as well? Because I mean, just look around. You will find that there is too much discrimination around us as well. I'm not talking just within the country, but outside the country. I mean, what we are surrounded with, you will find there is immense amount of discrimination. So you realize that this win is far more symbolic and significant, as compared to just a cricket match, or a cricket World Cup. It happens see every 4 years. An ICC event these days actually happen. There's another World Cup lined up next year for women itself. But when you realize that you actually represent the largest democracy in the world, and when you look around in your surroundings and you see the amount of discrimination, and there was one more moment actually, Rudransh, when India lost the game against England, the game that India should have won. I was not calling that game. I was following that with my wife and my daughter, and our heart broke that night. And I was like really heartbroken. I said, "This is there, and we couldn't win it." And I could feel the pain of the cricketers as well, because no matter how big a fan we are, see, nothing. We may be hurt, but nobody is seething or hurting more than the players who actually gone through it. So a fact that is lost on all of us sometimes. I somehow sometimes I feel that it should not, but it is lost on all of us. That day I saw lots of memes. वो हरमनप्रीत कौर, स्मृति मानधना की पिक्चर वो किचन के अंदर किसी ने डाल दी कि तुम तो चूल्हा चौका ही करो, तुम तो यही करो, तुम तो जीतने लायक नहीं हो, सिर्फ खेलने लायक हो. And I'm thinking, यार, it is not right. It is not right, because would you do that? Would you do that to an Indian men's team? Okay, let me ask that question. I asked that question to myself. Would you actually do that if India also lost 2022 World Cup semi-final? I mean, we were like knocked out by England. I think it was a 10-wicket loss or something. It was, I mean, almost like humiliating. But I didn't see anybody saying, okay, Virat Kohli can only do this and Rohit Sharma can only do that. Why are you even playing cricket? Because we started seeing them as champions, because, I mean, they are champion cricketers. But somehow that same emotion was not out in the open for the women. And that is when you realize that this actually means a lot more, because लड़कियों को एक्चुअली रोका जाता है, उनको सपने लेने से टोका जाता है यार. तो दिस एक्चुअली मीन्स सो मच मोर फॉर एवरीवन. एंड आई विल बी ऑनेस्ट, रुद्रांश, आई हैव बीन लाइक वंस वी वन द सेमीफाइनल, आई वाज कॉलिंग दैट वन एज वेल. उसके बाद आई न्यू दैट आई विल बी कॉलिंग द फाइनल्स एंड प्रोबेबली द फाइनल मोमेंट एज वेल. सो आई स्टार्टेड राइटिंग. सो आई गॉट दीस रिटन माय नोट्स, लॉट्स ऑफ डिफरेंट आइटरेशंस, बट wondering what will actually fit well. So लड़कियों को रोकना, लड़कियों को टोकना, उनकी जीत को सेलिब्रेट करना, एक्नॉलेज करना, आई थॉट was almost necessary. almost like mandatory, almost like obligatory on me that if I don't capture that, then do I do justice? Did I do actually? Would I do justice to this moment? Because it is not just winning the World Cup, it is a lot more. So therefore, that particular or those particular lines that Rokna and Tokna, where I hope I actually spoke for every single girl, girl who's gone through it. So yeah, that was that. Those two lines actually came from there.
Yeah, so moving on, you were first one of the first broadcasters who were like mainstream men's broadcasters to be included in the women's game as well. So was that opportunity, did that opportunity come to you, or did you reach out for that opportunity? What did happen?
So, see, as a broadcaster, I can never demand what I want.
Yeah.
I actually, if I'm assigned a job, I try and do justice to that job to the best
Yeah.
of my capabilities. I think over a period of time, whether it was the erstwhile Star Sports, now Geo, then Geo happened in between for a few years where we got the WPL as well, and I was genuinely excited about the WPL. In fact, went and interviewed a lot of girls, and then of course now it's the same entity. So I had never demanded. I all really wanted it, but it is not something that I can demand. So they must have at some stage realized that he's not just a guy who calls the game, who is a commentator or a broadcaster. Broadcasters must have at some stage realized that I'm actually deeply invested in the women's sport as well. And it's not just limited to Indian cricket. I actually have followed WBBL and all of that too. So I do follow the sport quite rigorously. And when we got the WBL, actually there was genuine excitement, because I'll tell you, Rudransh, I told Geo people, because we were working very closely, that for women cricket, the only way is up, and the ceiling is too far, and they'll continue to grow. So you see this product right now, and you see the same product like 5 years down the line. You'll see a marked difference in terms of skills, marked difference in terms of the temperament. Talent, of course, will also come through, and it is, I don't know, that realization hasn't dawned on a lot of people. But if I were to ask this question, that 2008 first IPL game where Brendan McCullum scored that century, that moment, if I were to replay that moment, say in 2025, it will still play out exactly the same way, and nothing is going to change. Because men cricket, in terms of skills and talent and temperament and everything, physical aspect, athleticism, everything, it has already hit the ceiling. It cannot go further up. It is not possible. McCullum 175 will be equally relevant today and celebrated today, because 175 तो आज भी नहीं बनता ना. So वो जब बनाए थे वो आज भी उतने relevant है. 18 years have passed. So you see that game and you see this game. The only difference you will find is the camera qualities have become better. So we capture the pictures a little better, but the quality of the game hasn't improved, because there is hardly any scope. He was still doing the reverse laps and reverse sweeps and maybe switch hit. And what new has happened? But with women's sport, it actually looks like a different sport. Every 10 years, if you were to see 10 years ago, if you see that game, any game from 2015, and you see today, you'll find, wow, game has changed so much, man. First WPL and this WPL, you again see, wow, there's so many young Indian girls who are now making a mark, and they're actually as good as some of the best international players. And you see progress. You see that there is potential, and the potential that is not still fulfilled, it will actually continue to grow. So in women's cricket, I think I'm sure now is the moment where people will realize that sky is the limit. We have not reached the ceiling yet, as opposed to men's cricket. Of course, I love covering the IPL. I really enjoy covering whatever I do, but with women cricket is actually very, very special.
So there were a lot of great performances. We saw Shafali in the final, Jemima in the semi-final, Smriti before, Pratika, Sri Charani as well. Who impressed you the most?
Okay, interesting ones actually. See, Pratika Rawal, I actually became a fan of Pratika Rawal. The way she actually bats and conducts herself on the pitch, and the comfort with which she actually caresses the ball, that is very unique. See, our women are not six hitters. They are boundary makers. But boundaries in the first 10 overs, again, many people won't realize this, but it's a 25-yard boundary. So that means everybody is standing a lot closer to each other. So the gaps are a lot smaller. And now to actually pierce that gap, where you're actually just using the timing, that means timing and placement, she is really brilliant. I mean, Pratika Rawal, I feel, is really brilliant. I'm leaving out Smriti and Harmanpreet Kaur for a very simple reason that, see, with Harman playing the knock that she played against Australia, it's expected. She did that in 2017 also. So in 2025, there's no novelty. Smriti Mandhana, the runs that she scored, again, they don't come as a surprise. She is the queen of offside. I mean, she will continue to do what she does. But Pratika Rawal, I thought was incredible. I think Sri Charni is India's best bowler. Best bowler आने वाले 10 साल, if you were to see, you will find, I really hope that she continues on the same growth path, and she evolves even as a better bowler. I think she is outstanding. She is the best left-arm spinner in the tournament alongside Sophie Eccleston, because I rate her very highly. And she has the dip, she has the drift, she has the spin, she has the accuracy. At a very young age, she's got the temperament. I mean, she's not the one who gets flustered. She doesn't bowl full tosses or long hops. She is very, very good. So, Sri Charni, I think, is one for the future. Pratika Rawal, once again, is here to stay. And Shefali Verma, just for the knock in the finals. And I'm thinking she's not a novice. She's been around forever. There has been a lot of potential that has been attached to her name. It's just that performances haven't been as consistent. But the way she batted, and I'm thinking her name was not there even in the standby list. So you're not in the original squad. You're not in the standby list. I mean, what are the chances that you are coming prepared that, okay, one day I'll get to play? I mean, kya hi chance hai? There is no chance whatsoever. But quirk of fate, she finds herself playing the finals. And she was very, very good actually. And it seems that she's improved her game. She's started thinking a lot more with regards to putting a price tag on her wicket. So because this opportunity has come so late, and she has missed out so much. I mean, this was her half century after 3.5 years. She got to play a game after 12 months for India in this format. So you realize that now the hunger is there. So these three players, I think the senior ones, Deepti and Harman and Jamie and Smriti, they're all outstanding. But they've been there, they've done that. I think Sri Charni and Pratika Rawal will actually top class.
So Harmanpreet, after the final, spoke about how this is just a start for them. They want to win more trophies, they want to dominate.
Yep.
But sure, their confidence and self-belief would be sky high because they now know that how it feels to win a tournament like this. But would it be wrong to say that this team can still reach a few more levels? They can still go a bit, they can still get a bit better, and to reach that level, that to beat Australia consistently instead of once in a while? Do you think they can do that, and how would that happen?
I think there is a lot of scope for improvement. I don't think it's a perfect team. I don't think we are like right up there right now. I mean, we are the world champions, so सारे जहाँ से अच्छा तो हम हैं, इसमें कोई doubt नहीं, क्योंकि that is where we have realized, na, 23 World Cup, we win everything, we beat Australia in the league game, but when we lose the finals, who becomes the world champion? It is Australia, and you bow to them. So similarly, I mean, this point in time, we are सारे जहाँ से अच्छा, हमसे बेहतर कोई नहीं है. पर सच्चाई ये भी है कि, I mean, there is a lot of work still to be done. Australia is miles ahead. I mean, you lose one game in 8 years. That takes some doing. Their team, if you look at them, sometimes you feel they are number one, and the second, third, fourth, fifth slots are empty, and then the counting starts. They are that good. So yes, we have a long way to go, but it is exactly the same. No, again, I was trying to stay away from the men comparison, but 1983 when we won the World Cup. So that was that one moment that changed everything. But then, soon after, West Indies came to India and hammered us 5-0 because they needed to tell us that, you know what, you may have won the World Cup, but this is where you belong. अभी तुम में हम में ना there is a huge gap. So I'm not saying कि I mean Australia is going to do that and that's going to happen, but the reality is there is a gap. We still need to go, like there are miles to travel. So this team, and not just this team, I'd say Indian cricket has a long way to go, but it is on the right path, and that is where actually I'll just bring it. So when I was calling, I also said कि ये जीत ये सिर्फ इन लड़कियों की नहीं है, ये तो मतलब दशकों की मेहनत की है, वो मशक्कत की है, वो तपस्या की है, क्योंकि I mean मिथाली राज, झूलन गोस्वामी, अंजुम चोपड़ा, डायना डुलजी, there's so many more who have walked this path, and that is why we've reached here now. So once we reach here, then names will change, faces will change as time progresses, but India will continue to grow and improve, and yes, we still have a fair amount of distance to travel before we start beating Australia regularly, and the path again will go through the WPL way as well. I mean, a lot of people might hate me for it कि यार franchise cricket है, पर a lot of T20 cricket is going to happen, and this is the best quality actually. So you will grow, and even winning this World Cup has clear imprints of the success of WPL, because pre-WPL, Deepti Sharma will not smash the first ball down the ground in the air, but she did. Shri Charni will struggle sometimes, but now you see these girls and you see, wow, Richa Ghosh. You keep taking names and you'll always find those threads they actually attach to, they go to and meet WPL somewhere. So it will go through the WPL way, and the only way is up, man. I think there is a lot of potential, and India will realize as a country. I think we are set on the right path where our growth will be multi-dimensional, and women cricket has now found its space in that multi-dimensional growth as well.
So, will it be wrong to say that this is the perfect opportunity to increase the investment in women's cricket? Maybe even if it not via the WPL, maybe in better contracts in state cricket and better school systems, like we saw in the men's cricket. Even after 1983, we saw more investment coming in. Is this the best time?
I think it's already happening. It will happen more. It will continue to happen. See, one thing that a lot of people they look down upon is the value of money being pumped into a sport. I mean, there is a lot of people who think, oh, that's not right, but it is what it is. I mean, once brands, because okay, let me just give you an example. So when the WPL auction was happening, I don't think there were many takers. They weren't. When you look at the brands and then you look, okay, there are still many brands who are actually men's cricket brands, and they're still there because they think, okay, there is an extension of whatever we are doing, छोटा सा यहाँ पे भी कर देते हैं. But now you will find that pie getting bigger. The moment that pie starts getting bigger, you will find more investment already. I think BCCI is already doing a fairly good job, and they'll continue to do so. WPL, now the wheel is set in motion, so you don't really have to worry. It'll take its own course and it will continue to grow. उसमें कोई doubt नहीं है. पर school level cricket, I think women actually, so okay, let's see it as an example. So I spoke with Deepti, Jemmy, Shafali, Smriti. I mean, they all went to an all-male academy. और उससे पहले अंजुम used to be in our club. Julan used to come and practice with us in Sonnet Cricket Club. So हमारे ना 100 लड़के थे, वो 2 लड़कियां आती थी. तो वो जो 2 लड़कियां आती है ना, तो 2 लड़कियां 100 में पहले तो उनको वो पहले तो मनाही कर देते हैं कि हम नहीं रखते जी, क्यों ही रखना, क्योंकि जस्ट क्या ही पॉइंट है इनका. फिर किस तरीके से आप कन्विंस करते हैं, फिर वो आके कोशिश करते हैं धीरे धीरे बॉल डालें, एंड यू ट्रीट देम अ लिटिल स्पेशली एंड सेपरेटली कि नहीं ये तो दीदी आई हैं, दीदी को ऐसे नहीं करना, दीदी को वैसे नहीं करना. बट अगेन इट वॉज प्रिडोमिनेटली अ मेल स्पोर्ट. उसमें विमेन हैड वेरी लिटिल कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन हियर एंड देयर. नाउ what I'm hoping that will happen is like women academies will happen. Okay, we have a men's wing, पर हमारी ना शाम को 5 से 7 तक जो है वो लड़कियों की प्रैक्टिस होती है. ये 3 दिन जो है ये लड़कियों के लिए डेडिकेटेड है, and we have enough parents sending their kids to practice. See, that is something that BCCI can't do. That is you and I can't do. that is down to the parents and the kids to get excited enough, and that is why you needed this moment. क्योंकि मोमेंट क्यों क्रिकेट लोग खेलते हैं, किसी भी चीज़ को फॉलो क्यों करते हैं. आई स्टार्टेड प्लेइंग द स्पोर्ट बिकॉज 1983 में कपिल पाजी ने ट्रॉफी उठाई. मेरे जैसे लाखों आकाश चोपड़ा निकले, कह रहे हमें सबको कपिल पाजी बनना है. 2011 में जब हम जीते तो सडनली बहुत सारे बच्चे निकले होंगे जिन्होंने हमें क्रिकेट खेलनी है. सो दैट मोमेंट इज रिक्वायर्ड दैट इग्नाइट्स a nation's appetite for the sport. And now I don't think a lot of girls will face resistance from the parents कि अबे इसमें कुछ नहीं होता. Okay, नहीं यार, इसमें प्रोफेशन बनता है. Just look at these girls यार, how well they have done. Suddenly parents will be more inclined, suddenly kids will be more inclined, and therefore the investment will start happening because the ecosystem is changing, where you have women academy, you will have women tournaments, you will have more of women, where the numbers are there, people follow. I mean, money follows a product which is garnering attention. You and I, we can keep shouting from the rooftop, बहुत अच्छा है देख लो, पर लोग नहीं देखेंगे. वो जब लोग नहीं देखते तो फिर पैसे नहीं आएंगे. Men's cricket became men's cricket not just because of 1983 but because 2000 at some stage realized कि इस प्रॉपर्टी में बहुत ज़्यादा there is a benefit because पूरा देश देखता है. तो then you see the coffers of the BCCI. It has nothing to do with, I mean, it is not a concerted effort कि हमें coffers बड़े करने हैं. It is because जनता देखती है यार. So अगर mass revolution आता है तो everything else takes care of itself, and good thing is that BCCI is actually a very robust body that takes care of its cricket very well, and it is not a coincidence or an accident that Indian cricket has reached where it has. It is down to a lot of generations of hard work actually.
Right. So you know how Indian cricket is. हम लोग अभी World Cup जीते हैं, and we already have a legend like Shanta Ranganaswamy saying that maybe Harmanpreet Kaur, this is the right time for Harmanpreet Kaur to step down and leave the door open for Smriti Mandhana to take over in all formats. We can't question her. It's her opinion, and maybe she has a point that Harman's on the wrong side of 30s, and maybe this is the time for Smriti to take over. But what is your opinion about it? Is it too soon, or should we start considering it?
I would say, okay, so I'll give you an example. I mean, it's a slightly different example, but just because I've just been to Kashi. काशी में था, साथ में मणिकर्णिका घाट है. सो मणिकर्णिका घाट इज बेसिकली क्रिमेशन ग्राउंड. तो कहते हैं कि ना वो चिता की आग तो ठंडी होने दो यार. अभी आई मीन दैट्स अ वेरी रॉन्ग एग्जांपल, सो डोंट, आई मीन इट इज नॉट एग्जैक्टली इन द सेम फैशन, बट अभी सेलिब्रेशन को डाई डाउन तो करने दो. अभी तो पटाखे हवा में ही हैं, अभी तो वो जगमगाने दो. अभी लेट देम जस्ट गार्नर द लाइमलाइट एंड एवरी सिंगल अप्रिसिएशन, एड्यूलेशन दैट्स कमिंग देयर वे. There is time to think. Yes, World Cup is going to happen, but it is going to happen next year. It is not happening this year. So there will be a time where you will say, okay, yes, it is done, and now we'll move on. But अभी रहने देते हैं यार. I mean, there is time and space and place for everything. Just because it is in the news right now, I would not want to join this bandwagon where we start opining about people's careers just after they've achieved glory, and glory that Indian cricket has never, or rather has not seen hitherto. So if you're there, just let them savor the moment. Yeah, enjoy करने दो.
Okay, final two questions, sir. First, what did you think of Amol Mazumdar's coaching? And because we saw that he was probably making a few mistakes at the start, that the combination wasn't working. They had a lot of depth, but the playing style wasn't right. Jamima was playing 4, 5, even further down the order. But come the end, and it all changed. Jamima was in the right position. Getting Shafali back proved to be the best decision. What did you observe of his coaching, and what did you like, and what maybe he can improve as well?
See, it is a little tough being Amol Majumdar as well, because see, we were all talking about 5 bowlers not good enough, need to have a 6th bowling option. Harleen should not be batting at 3, or if Harleen is batting at 3 is fine, but Pratika and Harleen could not be batting together because they're very similar style of players. Jemmy is pushed down to 5. Is that right? Is it wrong? Again, question marks, and then everything came together quite nicely in the end. So there are many dynamics is what I feel sometimes, where you need to bear in mind there is a captain. A decision is not just of coaches where you say, okay, I decide this team and this is the batting order. No sir, this is not like football. Football my manager can actually decide and overrule everything else what happens. Not in cricket. A captain plays a huge role, and if the captain is like a 5 World Cup captain, rather 5 World Cup player, very senior player, she may have her own thoughts and opinion as well, and you don't want to actually overrule them straight away. कि यार पहला मैच है, okay, you don't care, I don't care what you think, this is my thought and this is the way we are going to go. I can promise you that thing is going to fall flat. We've seen that in cricket earlier, where coaches tend to, I mean, there is an overreach and players do not respond, and if the captain is not on the same page, you are done. So I'd say yes, initially we were all thinking कि चीज़ें ठीक नहीं हैं, there are things that could have been done differently, combination slots and all of that, but eventually it all came out right, so I'm just happy and pleased. In fact, if बाल की खाल निकालनी हो तो मैं तो कहूँगा एंड में भी राधा यादव से पहले I would have played Sneh Rana. That was my opinion. Because Sneh Rana, with her bat, with the ball, the experience, the early games, everything was hinting in a direction that कि Sneh Rana को खिलाओ यार, Radha is not really bringing that much to the table, Sneh will bring more. But again, there are more dynamics at play which you and I, probably sitting miles away, will never get to understand, and therefore cannot appreciate and acknowledge कि यार हुआ क्या है, because we don't have the benefit of being there. But Amol has done a good job. I'm really happy for Amol because he's given so much to cricket, and cricket has finally given him something back that he can cherish for the rest of his life. He was born in an era where he was respected, yes. He scored a lot of runs. Was respected by his teammates and foes alike. But never could actually play for India. It's just the way it is. You're born in the wrong era. You're born in the wrong era. Whether you are Padmakar Shivalkar or Amol Majumdar or Mithun Manas, the story is the same. Nahi hai upar jagah yaar. So for him to achieve what he did, my heart was like full of joy and happiness for him, because cricket gave a very genuine student of the game, servant of the game, and eventually got his due. And how the way forward, I think one more thing which is incredibly beautiful about how Indian cricket is actually now moving, whether you look at men's cricket or women's cricket. In fact, Shefali's inclusion as well, because Shefali was not picked in the standbys by the previous selection committee, but the new selection committee have different members, and therefore Shefali would actually just come in. Otherwise, Shefali should not have been there if it was left to the previous selection committee. But I think everything is getting aligned quite nicely. That Amol will have a say, Harman will have a say, Smriti again is the next in line, we all know that. So that succession plan is already there and it has been carefully curated. So the amount of cricket that we are playing now, the shadow tours, the other tours, the number of games in general, I think we will reach there, and Amol will have a significant role now, because after winning the World Cup, he'll also grow in confidence and probably will be able to actually not impose himself, but at least get the captain aligned to certain things that he thinks are right. So there'll be a few things that will happen, but very happy for Amol.
So finally, sir, from your perspective, are we finally seeing women broadcasters taking up, like owning the space, like not just as maybe token voices, but as actual experts who are giving a unique perspective to the sport? And do you think this World Cup can maybe open more doors for women in the media around the sport, broadcasters, in analysis, and in commentary and storytelling as well?
I really hope that happens here. Why? Because these girls actually know the stories far better. See, we are living on borrowed knowledge. Because I've not spent time with any of them, barring an interview there, an interview here, and an hour here, whatever that's about. That's all I have, and I'm reading on CrickInfo and other places to understand. Okay, give me an insight into who these kids are. But women actually, they've gone through it, they've seen it firsthand, they know their stories a lot better, they follow domestic cricket, some of them are still playing domestic cricket. So I really hope that it happens. But there is one thing that everybody will eventually realize, that see, Abhi already you have Anjum, who's a seasoned broadcaster now. Reema does a lot of broadcasting in Hindi. So Anjum does in English, Reema does in Hindi. We'll also keep getting more voices as we grow forward. But anyone who's actually trying to jump from that side to this side, they'll have to remember one thing, that as a broadcaster, everybody will have to learn broadcasting. So if you learn broadcasting, some like Mel Jones has, she knows broadcasting. Anjum does. So you need the hygiene, you need the fervor, you need the gravitas and whatever else is required. So why not? Yeah, it's their space. They can always be. I mean, it belongs to them. We will just be embellishments. We'll come and do our bits because we would love to. Similarly, I mean, women are working in the IPL and beyond, which obviously is absolutely fine because they will bring another perspective. So it's all about storytelling. It's all about perspective, and it's also about palatable to the audience, because in the end, it's not you and I who decide the quality of broadcast or the quality of the broadcaster. It is the guy or the girl who's watching it on her mobile, CTV or wherever. If they find it palatable, they'll accept. If they don't find it palatable, then they'll reject. So this is what it is. And I'm sure all of them will also realize, whoever is jumping this side, they'll get significant work, and they'll also end up spending significant time just to hone a new set of skills.